Go ahead.
Hi, my name is Carol Redbird, and I am studying human and social service. Actually, I'm interested in psychology. I'll be earning my associates in December, and I'll be transferring out to St. Aglaishka University. My research that I picked was, I was undecided, but I wanted to pick something that people are really not aware of, and it's called systematic lupus. I can never say that last word, erythematosus. And what is lupus? What does lupus erythematosus mean? The word lupus, from Latin word for wolf, is attributed to the 13th century physician. And it says lupus is a chronic autoimmune disease that can damage any part of the body, skin, joints, and organs. Auto means self, and for Greek word erythros mean red. So I was diagnosed with lupus 5 years ago. They didn't do the diagnosis. I had cancer in 2010. So the symptoms were similar, so they thought I had lupus again, so they were doing series and series of testing. It took 4 years for them to find out that I had lupus. So who gets lupus? According to the Lupus Foundation of America, approximately 1.5 million people in the U.S. have lupus. People of African, Asian, and Native American descent are more likely to develop lupus than are Caucasians. Although it can occur both men and women, 90% of the women have lupus. One question that's always asked is lupus contagious? Lupus isn't contagious, but it is hereditary. I found out, I was adopted out and I grew up in a foster home, but later on I found out my biological mother has lupus, and one of my other sisters have lupus. And what treatments are out there for lupus patients? The following drugs are commonly used. It's NSAIDs for the inflammatory, and there's anti-malarial drugs or something, steroids, immune suppressive medication, and there's numerous medications out there. But on the bright side, for myself, they try to put me on all of these medications. But what I found out with the side effects of these medications is they make you feel worse than having lupus. So I worked in the field of the health field for like 15 years. So I started doing a research on my own. And I ended up doing my own, I gave up foods like gluten, I gave up caffeine, I gave up candy, I gave up chips, I gave up all these things to help me. And what I learned is that when they diagnose you with lupus, it don't have to control you. You can gain control of your lupus by what you eat, how you eat, exercise a lot. And I've always been a runner, but somewhere along the line I let myself go. So when they diagnosed me with lupus, I weighed 258 pounds. But once I let go of all those stuff, within 6 months, I was down to 180 pounds. And I felt more greater than I did before they found out I had lupus. There were days I couldn't get out of bed. There were days that I was so sick. I was in and out of the hospital, in and out of the ER. They had me on strong medications such as, and I don't like taking any kind of medication, strong medication, but they had me on, what do you call those, pain meds, oxycodone and stuff like that, and which was hurting my liver more than it was helping me. And so as soon as I gained control of it and I found out more what will help me, I continued that path. And what I learned in life is when I was diagnosed with cancer, when I was diagnosed with lupus, is how you respond to those, what they diagnose you with is really up to you, how your outcome is gonna be. And I don't recommend you not to take the medication, that's clearly up to you. But I don't allow them to put me on any kind of medication, but I really watch what I eat. And if there's a day where I come in, I'm quiet, I feel like I'm really run down, that means I went against my wishes and had a pizza that night. And it would affect me. It would really affect how I feel. It's like if there's pizza right here and you say, go ahead and help yourself. I go over there and I grab that pizza and I eat it. In a snap of a finger, my body feels it. It's like somebody just deflated my bubble or whatever. And so I really, how do you say it? I watch what I eat, I exercise more. If you see me walking back and forth, it's because I don't want to give in to this disease. I fight as much as I can. At my age, I cannot afford it. And at my age, I'm 56, and there's only 2 medications I take. One of them is because I have acid reflux, and the other one is for high blood pressure. And I'm not diabetic because I really watch what I eat, I watch how I cook, and what I put in my body. And I guess I always tell people that you can let your sickness define you, or you can define the sickness. I lost 3 good friends within this year to lupus. They struggled with this disease much worse than I have. They continued their life as they knew, eating what they could. I saw how they struggled. They were in and out of the hospital and ICU until they lost their battle. 3 of them, we all were diagnosed with lupus, and they're gone, and I'm still here. And I thank God that I'm still here. And I always tell people that I start my day with prayer. I'm very spiritual. Doesn't mean I'm spiritual where I judge people. I'm just spiritual. I know to pray, and I know to start my day in a positive way. And I try to stay upbeat. But there are so many things that you can go online and find out about lupus. It's a disease that how would someone know they have lupus? It's a very hard disease to detect. Just like I said, they put me through series and series of tests. And finally, I told the doctor, I said, why don't you check me for lupus? From the beginning, I told him. He wouldn't listen to me until the end. 4 or 5 years later, he tested me and he says, you have lupus. I felt like saying, you could have saved all that money from running me through all these tests. And understanding lupus, a chronic and complex autoimmune disease, where the most thing that really hits me is the fatigue. Even though I slept a lot, I still feel like I wake up tired. That's the only side effect that still bothers me. So I like this. I'm in the fight of my life, and I'm going to win. Because you can go in remission with lupus if you really try your best. So that's where I'm at.